What is up, everyone? So, yesterday I talked about how I'm really having fun trading this new system, and today I'm having even more fun because I'm making money with this. So, if I just show you my trades today, I've got starting from the top. So, you can see here this is 3rd of 12th of March. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 added up. Now let's grab a calculator and I'm going to add it up for you to see just my earnings for today, and I'm not even done yet. So minus 13.79 plus 18.58 plus minus 78.75 minus 12.89 minus 12.2 plus 56.98 minus 10.63. Okay, and that's it, and the other ones are the day before. And you can also see I've also got big win on the day before, but I'm not going to talk about that because it's going to take forever if I do. So just from those trades alone, today I made $104, which has been an excellent day because yesterday at this time my account was around $250 from my 500. So definitely still down, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Hopefully we can stay consistent. And I just want to show you my thought process of the trades that I took today and to show you a little bit of what I've been learning in the course. And we'll see in a week's time if I'm profitable or if I'm losing money. So let's hop into the charts. Today I found that I traded a lot, and Sol and ADA, I found ADA's been really helping me. We're going to talk about these 3 trades and how I managed to execute them. So I put the bar replay back so that you don't know what's going to happen next. But essentially this was around 4 o'clock, almost 5 o'clock, as I got home from basketball, and I was thinking, okay, this is forming a downtrend. And so once this downtrend breaks, I'm going to see if I can take a trade. So right there, that was a beautiful break. And from that break, I also had this green buy signal. So what I did was I put my fib retracement down to the very bottom, and then fast forward, I want to be buying in fair value gaps. So these green candles, and what fair value gaps are is just 3 consecutive candles, and if there's this gap between, let me just show you, if there's this wick up here and wick up here, but it doesn't go down, that is the gap. So that's what a fair value gap is. And usually when fair value gaps happen, it means that price will come back to retest and become like a support or resistance zone. So 50% level is kind of where we want. And although it's a little bit above, but this fair value gap is probably the only one that's available. You can see the other ones all the way down there. So that I was pretty happy with, but I still waited a little bit. So I waited to see, okay, if this price is going to push any higher or lower. So it doesn't look like it was going to go lower. So instead what I did is I drew a box, and then from that box you have a midline. And what I did was I put a long position right here, just a little bit above the middle of the box, meaning the middle of the fair value gap. And I had my stop loss set at this candle's below, because this candle produced that fair value. And now I was also quite confident in taking this trade as the setup because this literally broke out, and I'm looking for it to retest back, meaning it's going to come into my fair value gap and then going again. Okay, and this would be my stop loss, which is below this line. So I was pretty happy with that trade. So after a few candles later, popped in. See how that respected that fair value gap perfectly. Now, if this candle went all the way down and it closed underneath this fair value gap, then this fair value gap means that it's basically rejected and it's not a true support zone. But in this sense, there's 2 confluences. One, this trend line, and also this fair value gap, making this trade a very good quality setup. So once that's up, I put a signal up here on that previous high, because once it breaks that previous high, I want to bring my stop loss to break even over here. But right now it's still down here. So play this out, went down again, see how it's testing that support line beautifully, and it just kind of goes sideways and eventually starts to break up. So at this time I just put my stop loss down here, and then I'm actually waiting for a breakup. Now, what I also am doing is trailing these fair value gaps. So I'm going to put this to the side for now. And what I mean is whenever this breaks a new high, these new fair value gaps are formed. So each time these fair value gaps are formed, I'm taking my new stop profit or my new stop loss to bring it up. Now I can't bring it up using this drawing, but essentially I'm going to put it under these candles that produce fair value gaps. So it'll be here, here, and then here. Those would be the 3 gaps or new stop losses that I put. Okay. Now we keep going and see what happens with this trade. This kind of just goes off, and each time I'm kind of putting a new fair value gap underneath. So these 2, 3, I've put this up, and I'm going to put it under this one. See, fair value gap, candle, our new take profit, it's under here. And then we just keep going. And it just keeps going, produces a massive big candle, and then so I move this all the way up. Right, there's 2 fair value gaps. Now normally I would have put it under this candle, but just because this has such a strong bounce, it meant that it was probably coming near exhaustion and the trend was likely to go down. Okay, so instead I don't want to lose out of my profits, so I pulled up my stop loss all the way to down here. And that gave me a risk to reward ratio of 9, meaning if I did $10, I got $90 back. And surely enough, I wanted to keep going, but that massive wick candle just stopped me out. So that's where kind of the $78 came in, because there's a bit of slippage and I don't think I got a very good fill in the entry. Okay, so that was the first setup. Then I saw the sell signal and this massive trend down. So I'm like, okay, it's time for another trade, because it looks like this is going to be breaking support and resistance soon. So after seeing this, I'm like, okay, there seems to be a bit of change of character from this swing low here. I want it to kind of break down, but I'm also targeting this fair value gap. So this is the new fair value gap that I saw. Boom. Okay, and let's see what this price action does. So it went lower. So I forgot to draw my fib here, but as it went lower, look at that, 50% level and 0.618 level, beautifully both in this gap. So I'm very happy with this gap, and I do want to take that trade. So what I did was I set up a stop order for a short position. Sorry, I set up a short position, put it just under that 50% level of the fair value gap, put my stop loss above the candle that produced this fair value gap, and wait for the trade to go in. Comes down and back up. I got that entry and it goes down again. See how this gap is really forming that resistance? This is what we want. Okay, and the next thing that I want is I really wanted to break through this support line and also breaking through this neck and this neck. Okay, so let's see what happens. Goes up, retests, so higher, so equal highs. So double top, meaning it is having a very strong resistance zone up here where a lot of people are selling. Comes down, wicks up and down, goes up again. Come on, and then it decides to break down, right? Decreases that. So at this time, I've decreased my risk to stop even, so that even if this comes all the way back up, I'll be just at a $0 loss, maybe a couple dollars because of some fees. But essentially now I'm at 0. I'm waiting for it to break this low, and then I'm gonna start trailing my profits with the fair value. Keeps going up and down. See how this strong low broken, and that candle right there closed. It closed underneath this low, meaning a new low has formed. So by this time, what I've done is I've adjusted my take profit to above this red candle right here. So I'll pull it out so you guys can see. Okay. And I keep looking. Any more new fair value gaps? Down. That one didn't form fully, So I didn't actually take the trade. It goes down, up, keep going. So it kind of swings up and down, and then it goes up, and I'm out of the trade. So this one came up. I didn't get a lot of profits, but still it was a good 2 risk to reward ratio, which is around $18. After that, I made some other trades. So I was thinking, okay, it's going up, but feels like the overall sentiment might still be in a downtrend because there's a weak low here. And so I thought to myself, this might be a fake signal where people are selling and buying. So I'm still looking for that downtrend. What I did instead was I looked at this. So just by looking at this, it still looks kind of pretty bearish how it's coming low, high. This could be a support, but I was thinking and expecting it to be broken. So I was looking at these fair value gaps to see if they can potentially be support zones where I could just short again. So I kept going. There was another green signal, but no real change of character. So I kind of waited. It went up into this gap zone, but then I waited to see if this would close for a short candle. So for a bearish candle, it didn't. It kind of just kept going up. It went down, but I'm not really liking the price action, how it's just running in between. So I waited. That one was too small, so it immediately got wicked out. But this was one I was actually looking at. If this candle decided to close bearish, I would have taken the trade. But the second candle did. So what I did is I took a short here. Right. Put that stop loss there and just see if we would break this. And I went to poo. Probably not necessary information, but it was looking good. Right. Broke that change of structure. See if there's anything. No. And then it got whipped out. So by this time it's like, okay, I'm thinking this might actually be another uptrend. So if I just pull this up, I will take another short if it breaks, or I'm just looking for it to go up, possibly to this previous high here, if not to that highest high over there. And if I just keep going, it's kept going up. Looks like this is right now current. This is all live. This is looking like it's hit that previous support top, and a sell signal has come in. So I'm gonna see if this breaks this line. If it does, I'm looking to have a short. This breaks, retest support, and it just keeps going down. Alright, so that's a trade analysis of what happened today. Again, I'm still very new, still learning, but hopefully this shares some insights about the world of day trading and how it has gone for me as a complete beginner to learn how to trade. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you tomorrow.